Hello viewers, welcome back to our YouTube channel. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button and be a part of our family. The best thrillers on Netflix right now. Your entertainment guide, movie.
I need you to realize the situation you're in here. The winner always tells the story.
It's the American dream to get rich without really trying. But the thriller Your Lucky Day is going to make Sterling, Angus Cloud, work for it. After hearing someone discover that he's got a winning lottery ticket worth millions, Sterling kills the owner of the ticket and a cop who was at the scene. The big problem is that there are witnesses to Sterling's crime: Amir, Musa Hussein Kraish, Abraham, Elliot Knight, and his girlfriend, Anna Marlene, Jessica Garza. Sterling offers the survivors a share of his winnings if they help him cover up his murders. Unfortunately, it was never going to be that simple, and the money on the line is simply too enticing. There's going to be more blood spilled before this story is over, but who will emerge with the lucky ticket?
Back away, or I will burn this ticket!
So let me know! Go to Nicole, lock your door! The phone's dead. Fear.
Fear has been described as fatal attraction for teens, but David McCall, Mark Wahlberg, is a much bigger monster than Glenn Close's character ever was. David's an older boy who successfully woos a teenager, Nicole Walker, Reese Witherspoon, much to the anger of her father, Stephen Walker, William Peterson, and his second wife, Laura Walker, Amy Brenneman. David isn't just obsessive over Nicole, he's also dangerous and delusional. There's nothing David won't do to make Nicole his, including rape and murder. By the time Nicole realizes how much trouble she's in, it's already too late. Alone is an appropriate title for this movie, which follows Jessica, Jules Wilcox, who is attempting to rebuild her life following the death of her husband. But before Jessica can start over, she'll have to get past Sam, Mark Menchaca, a man whom she encounters multiple times while traveling through a remote area. Jessica turns out to be right to be mistrustful of Sam, as he eventually drugs and kidnaps her. There's no one coming to save Jessica, and if she wants to survive, she'll have to either fight Sam or run for her life.
I am coming for you.
It's the little things that rip you apart. It's the little things that get you caught.
The Little Things is a more modern Denzel Washington thriller, and he brings his usual intensity to the part of Joe Deacon. Years ago, Deacon was a LAPD homicide detective who couldn't break the case of a serial killer in Los Angeles. Deacon's inability to let that go proved to be very costly both personally and professionally. In the present, the killer apparently begins going after new victims. This time, Deacon meets Detective Jim Baxter, Rami Malek, a man whose drive to close this case may be as deep as Deacon's. Former Joker Jared Leto co-stars as Albert Sparma, the man who Deacon and Baxter are convinced is behind the murders. Sparma even loves taunting them about whether he's the killer, and there's very little they can do within the contrasts of the law to stop him from killing again. But their mutual urge to take the law in their hands may come back to haunt them both.
You know him, didn't you? Then you had that one little feeling. But you waved it away.
Haven't you been picking up?
Whatever it is, it's happening to all of us.
In any other year, LA Confidential would have probably been the favorite to win Best Picture. But in 1997, it capsized against Titanic's run at the Academy Awards. Nevertheless, this modern noir remains a masterpiece, and it helped launch the careers of Russell Crowe and Guy Pearce. In 1953, the LAPD's Edmund Exley, Pearce, takes advantage of a police scandal to further his career, which earns him the enmity of Officer Wendell Bud White, Crowe. Separately, White, Exley, and Detective Sergeant Jack Vincennes, Kevin Spacey, stumble onto a larger case that has grave implications for both the LAPD and the criminal underworld. The secrets they discover are a valuable commodity, and their enemies are more than willing to kill to protect themselves.
I want to know. What is the truth?
Don't lie to me. We going to the police. Yeah, why don't you scream, huh?
Get her.
No, don't shoot him.
Devil in a Blue Dress.
Denzel Washington goes full noir in Devil in a Blue Dress, an underrated thriller from the 1990s. In 1948, Easy Rollins, Washington, is feeling the financial heat and desperately needs any kind of job to save his home. Private investigator DeWitt Albright, Tom Sizemore, offers Easy a lifeline when he comes to him asking for help finding Daphne Monet, Jennifer Beals, a woman whose disappearance has already thrown Los Angeles' mayoral race into turmoil. Easy figures out pretty quickly why Albright hired him, because they're not the only ones trying to catch up with Daphne. And whatever secrets Daphne is hiding, someone is willing to kill for them to protect themselves from the fallout.
You can trust me, Mr. Rollins. I am the next mayor, and luckily for you, a friend of the Negro.
Seduced by power.
I will not allow this to happen.
This is not about you. This is war. This is sacrifice. This operation is terminated.
Unthinkable puts FBI Special Agent Helen Brody, Carrie-Anne Moss, in a very tough situation. A former Delta Force operator, Yusuf Atta Muhammad, Michael Sheen, has planted 3 nuclear devices around the country and is demanding that the U.S. completely pull out of the Middle East. Desperate times call for desperate measures, so Secret Invasion star Samuel L. Jackson is summoned to employ some enhanced interrogation techniques on Yusuf. Wastes no time moving right along to torture, which Yusuf anticipated. Although Brody is horrified by H's actions, the clock is ticking to save lives, and even H may not be brutal enough to make Yusuf break in time.
No time!
When I said that I planned the perfect bank robbery, I meant precisely that.
Inside Man.
Is it really possible to pull off a perfect bank robbery? Dalton Russell, Clive Owen, boasts that he has in the opening minutes of Spike Lee's Inside Man, and it's hard to dispute that claim. Dalton's plan really is ingenious, and it even hides the identity of the robbers from the hostages trapped in the bank with them. Detective Keith Frazier, Gladiator 2's Denzel Washington, doesn't know what he's walking into as he tries to negotiate with the robbers. Meanwhile, the bank's owner, Arthur Case, Christopher Plummer, is so scared that the robbers will discover his secret that he sends his fixer, Madeline White, Jodie Foster, to handle the situation at any cost.
I can change your entire program, so the sooner that you stop being my problem, the better off you'll be.
Confidential.
In any other year, LA Confidential would have probably been the favorite to win Best Picture. But in 1997, it capsized against Titanic's run at the Academy Awards. Nevertheless, this modern noir remains a masterpiece, and it helped launch the careers of Russell Crowe and Guy Pearce. In 1953, the LAPD's Edmund Exley, Pearce, takes advantage of a police scandal to further his career, which earns him the enmity of Officer Wendell Bud White, Crowe. Separately, White, Exley, and Detective Sergeant Jack Vincennes, Kevin Spacey, stumble onto a larger case that has grave implications for both the LAPD and the criminal underworld. The secrets they discover are a valuable commodity, and their enemies are more than willing to kill to protect themselves.
Academy Award winner Kevin Spacey, Russell Crowe, Guy Pearce, James Cromwell, Kim Basinger, Danny.
There is an American remake of Oldboy by Spike Lee, but the South Korean original is the one that deserves all of the attention. Park Chan-wook directed and co-wrote this manga adaptation, which follows the story of Oh Dae-soo, Choi Min-sik, a businessman who was arrested for being drunk in public. But Dae-soo's problems really begin after being released by the cops when he is kidnapped and imprisoned in a sealed hotel room. Dae-soo soon learns that his wife has been murdered, and the police think he killed her. This also means that their 4-year-old daughter will grow up without him. For the next 15 years, Dae-soo remains trapped by his captors until he is mysteriously released. Now, Dae-soo has to discover who did this to him and why. One of the best thrillers with a twist ever, Oldboy is just as shocking and enthralling as it was 20 years ago.